Okay, we got rubber on for today. Rubber has a big part to play in world history. It was a large industry, just as cotton was, from 1000, 1200 onward. And it became a bigger industry after 14, 15, and 1600, and it's a big industry today. We have synthetics now, just like in the pharmacological world. So the rubber plant was indigenous to the Western Hemisphere. Now, the people who developed rubber, they were vulcanizing rubber. And even though you can read that Goodyear, who worked for the post office and did their postal bags for them, you can read that he patented the vulcanizing process. Because rubber is not very useful. It doesn't last very long unless it's vulcanized. Its properties will give out after a while. And vulcanizing is sulfur is what's used for that. And the indigenous were using the powder from morning glory plants, which has sulfur in it. They were using that for vulcanizing their rubber for thousands of years, even though you can read as another lie that Goodyear patented that and is credited with developing it, i.e. inventing it in the 1800s. Nothing could be further from the truth, because that was definitely a contribution, a gift to the world from the American Indians. Now, the Europeans were afraid of these balls and these sports devices that were used by the indigenous because they had the rubber ball. They had balls very similar to soccer balls and basketballs, and those sports, along with hockey and field hockey, can be traced back, the closest tracing to today's sport, traced back to the indigenous of the Western Hemisphere. And as I say, the Europeans, because of the way it bounced like that, they thought it was alive and they were afraid of it. And they weren't only using it for games, they had practical uses for rubber as well too. They were using it on some of their pottery. They had rubberized boots, waterproof boots. They had waterproof ponchos. They were using it for their hoods. They had a lot of different practical uses for rubber. And that's why I say it was an industry unto itself, because it was a sought after. Now, the Industrial Revolution, there's three main ingredients: petroleum and steel and rubber, that went into giving us the Industrial Revolution and the explosion in machinery that's happened and led to it's the foundation of today's civilization, really. And rubber played a huge part in that and was one of the main components. And so that is a gift and contribution from the Western Hemisphere. See you again soon.